eno mu Parliament gye tuli omuliro gwakutedda anti ebigambo byongedde okutabuka. Mathias Mpuuga nsamba aleese bwino omukambwe atamudde aba NRM era ekiri eno abasajja baagala kwegwa mu bifuba kankutwale olabe ki ekiri mu Parliament ne Speaker naye asobeddwa ebigambo.
Understood Honorable Chivumbi very well. He knows and is aware of the law. He is aware of Article 93. And for him, he's saying, he's requesting government. He's requesting government, not that he does not have the locus to bring the motion to that effect, but he's requesting government. And that's why I was saying, now that is requesting government, that's where we will put now, we will now go and look at prayer by prayer and see whether government is willing to bring a motion to that effect or not.
The government, we don't need explanations.
Yes, there's a procedure matter from Dr. Chris. Hey, you want to submit? Yes, there's a procedure matter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I do understand where the opposition are coming from, but I just wanted us to look back, Madam Speaker. I'm on the floor, please. I just wanted us to.
You understand where our colleagues are coming from?
Yeah, I understand where our colleagues are coming from. Thank you for the clarification. Madam Speaker, the Committee on Human Rights, Parliamentary Committee of Human Rights, presented a report on this matter.
Don't take out.
No, I'm reaching to
Honorable.
a I'm just
Honorable.
Madam Speaker.
Sit. Honorable, sit.
Right, Honorable.
We are now moving towards the closure. I chaired that committee.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker. It's in the interest of government. And
Honorable members, listen to Haj.
Right, Honorable Speaker. It's in the interest of government. And it is in the interest, I think, most fundamentally, for the head of state, who is on oath to protect and protect people's lives and properties, to ensure and to take responsibility, to ensure that missing persons are accounted for. Even if they were to be pronounced dead, it's in the interest of government. I want to implore my friends here and senior colleagues in this parliament that they should find a space within their government to go ahead, and good enough the Prime Minister is here. I would like to implore you to go ahead, given the contradictions and the consistency. The Right Honorable Speaker, who was in the chair when this issue came up, read a number of times your house, even you when you are in the chair, where these issues have featured. So they are not one-off. Consistently, there have been arguments. Therefore, we want to implore the government side to find it within their power.
Thank you.
To appoint a judicial service commission. The commission of inquiry.
Commission of Judicial.
Right. If you might permit,
Commission of Inquiry.
if I were to speak on number 3, because we are finding, I'm only speaking on the, if I'm to speak on the last one.
Which last one is
Number Select Committee of Parliament. I think my
honorable members.
senior
Why don't
friend,
we handle these prayers one by one?
one,
What would have even finished? Let's handle one by one. Prayer number 1. Prayer number 1.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I think on prayer number 1, the Land Attorney General had already made a commitment, but we want to clarify that the government has no political prisoners. Ugandans are arrested on the basis of suspicion for having committed a crime. And the concern being raised here is that there could be Ugandans whose trials have delayed. And the Attorney General undertook to check with the relevant authorities that in case there are people who are in jail and their trials are delaying, then action will be taken. So I think that one.
You see, before you go and make analysis of these prisoners, you cannot know whether they are political, whether they are what. So what we want you to do, go and make analysis and report back.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Which Attorney General had made a commitment?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Right, I am speaking as a government minister. No. You say, Madam Speaker, a political prisoner presupposes that Honorable Mpuuga is arrested because his opposition is NUP. And I'm saying no, that the people arrested by government
Honorable members
is on the basis
Honorable members
of committing a crime.
Honorable members.
Yes.
Honorable members, the issue that is being raised is on borders Article 28 of the Constitution, fair hearing, and Article 29, freedom of conscience, expression, movement, religion, and assembly and association. So I want executive to go and examine these prisoners and cause release of these prisoners. Go and examine them. The prisoners who have been there beyond the mandatory time, who have not been tried. Yes. I have not mentioned the political prisoners. I am saying prisoners who are there.
On political charges.
Yes.
Right, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, can I request honestly that we go by the proposal of the Attorney General?
Yes.
Instead of setting a bad precedent, which is not even practical, that people can be released through Parliament. Let's go.
No, Parliament is
Yes.
Parliament ordering.
Because that's what it comes to.
By the way, as members of Parliament, we are constrained to do the work of courts. That's not our role. And as such, we are only imploring government to go and act. Our work is not the work of court. Prayer too, yes?
I'm very proud of you. What you are telling the executive is not that we are not directing the judiciary to release. Withdrawing a case which you instituted is a function of the executive, which is charging people. I have been old enough here. I have witnessed President Museveni talking to various groups. One group came from Rukunjiri, the other group came from Teso, and he told them, I am going to solve that. And it was solved. And we are not here to show our might. We are here to show our wisdom, reason, maturity, and statesmanship. Yes, I will clarify.
You've referred to a group from Kisoro, Rukunjiri, and also Teso. As any other group done the same, or you are trying to achieve what that group achieved through this house.
Can we go to prayer number 2?
I thank you. I thank you for ignoring him.
Prayer number 2.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The commitment earlier on by the Land Attorney General is a step in the right direction. And I concur that what we are doing here is not judicial, nor even quasi-judicial. And therefore, we have no space ordering the other arm of government to act. But the executive here at our disposal can commit time frames. The executive cannot work endlessly. We would like to know what the executive would do, that we can know that they have done their part and only another arm has not done their part. And that cannot be endless, bearing in mind the time people have spent in detention without trial. The executive cannot have latitude of working in endless space. May we get commitment of space, time frame from the Land Attorney General, Right Honorable Speaker. Because can we again have to wait for another 1 year, 2 years, and then the general comment is that we made a commitment, Right Honorable Speaker?
Honorable Attorney General, you have an answer? You sure? What?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I did say that I do understand the observation made by the leader of opposition. But we shall go beyond the list they present because we do not know its authenticity or not. But we believe there might be other people in the system.
Asking on the timeline.
I'm coming. Frame. That's where I'm heading, Right Honorable. Right Honorable Speaker, I committed to write to the Chief Justice, to the Deputy Chief Justice, to the Principal Judge, to the Chief Registrar. I will copy that letter to the Chief Whip, to the Prime Minister, and the Leader of Opposition. I cannot give timelines because I do not have control over courts.
Honorable members,
I want us to be very careful.
Honorable
the judiciary is independent. I want us to be very careful and mindful of the fact that the judiciary is independent. I'm simply going to express the concerns raised by this parliament to the head of the judiciary, the Chief Justice.
Honorable Lop, what we can do, since this matter is still before and is continuing, I don't think those are the last people to be arrested or whichever disappear. I want us to continue. Listen, I want us to continue engaging in this. Give me a write-up on what you've agreed with the other arms of government. I personally am going to engage the head of executive.
Guidance.
I am going to engage the head of executive on this matter, and then I will get a response to that effect.
Yeah.
Right Honorable Speaker, that commitment is heartwarming. But because we are a House of Record, the Land Attorney General needs to be very clear on his intentions. Namely, that does not require the Land Attorney General to seek the indulgence, let alone the express or tacit permission of the CJ, or the deputy, or the principal judge to discontinue prosecution, especially the nature that has not even evolved. It does not require the Chief Justice. So what we want to understand exactly what the Land Attorney General wants to pursue, so that we can know what we are dealing with, because these are state functions.
But Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, it is the law that you can't direct DPP. What are we talking about?
The independence. Honorable members, Lop, I am going to give you a feedback because I know there's one person who will resolve this. What? Prayer 2. The second prayer. Government.
Our view, Madam Speaker, is that if we're combining 2 and 3, is that we have trust in the institutions of government and even in this parliament. And we do feel that if there are issues which are still subsisting, the existing institutions of the state, like Human Rights Commission, and the others can take them up. Because I read the report of the Human Rights Commission, their concern was non-cooperation of the affected parties. If the leader of opposition can undertake that he can work with the families to make sure they provide information, because most of them, they were saying, we want clearance from our party. That's the concern the Human Rights Commission was raising. That's all. So,
Honorable
So-
government,
so our view,
we have 2 views.
yes.
The 2 views on 2 is a judicial commission of inquiry, where Honorable Katuntu rose on an issue of 93, Article 93, and that is only mandated for you. What we can only do is to implore government to bring a motion to that effect. Then the other issue is that we have a constitutional body that is mandated, and that would they would proceed under Article 48, 51, 52, and 53 of the Constitution of Republic of Uganda to investigate, and that is the Human Rights Commission, and it is the only one mandated to handle issues related to human rights. There are 2 positions.
Yes, right, Honorable Speaker, I was submitting on the very issue that the numbers have been oscillating from 400 to 38 in the Human Rights Committee.
Commission, not committee.
No, Committee of Parliament, 38. To 30, the Human Rights Commission, and now to 18. And according to the report of our committee, they reduced to 4. Human Rights Committee. Now they rejoined that. Now, our view as the government is that the number dropped.
Lop and Honorable Bua.
Can I be listened to?
Lop and Honorable Bua, can you go out and sort out your issues? If you want to fight, you fight in the corridor. Yes.
Yes, our view as government is that there are existing remedies within our legal framework and institutional framework. I read the report of the Human Rights Committee, and actually that's where the number dropped from 30 to 18 because they were able to trace the 12. And their concern was that the next of kin who were provided we are not cooperating. And many of them were saying,
James, first come back.
We have to get clearance from our political party and some of them. So our request is that if the leader of opposition and leaders of the opposition can undertake to help in providing information, then this work, if there are areas where there is still dissatisfaction, the Human Rights Commission and the other state agencies can do this work. And therefore, we shall not bring a motion to this effect. Our view is that this can be done by the Human Rights Commission, provided our leader of opposition supports the families to make sure the information is provided, they can trace this. Yes. That's our view.
And honorable members, I want to
Wonderful.
also remind you that under Article 54, it talks about the independence of Human Rights Commission. And for me, I'm not going to go into argument. Those in favor of the Human Rights Commission, I mean Judicial Commission, I'm going to put two questions.
With your indulgence, Madam Speaker, we need to get these issues very clear and without emotions. I have, with my team, gone out of our way to establish how the commission worked. In fact, on 3 occasions, the family members attested to the fact that the commission asked them to negotiate with the government for a financial settlement. Secondly, it's not true that these families did not cooperate. In fact, when the commission at one occasion declared that they are going to close the files, we reached out to the families, put them in a vehicle, and took them to the commission. And they pointed to people that were saying they have never seen them. Says, you came home, we saw you, why are you denying our existence? So, Right Honourable Speaker, this commission is so disabled in the circumstances to deal with this matter. It is conflicted. It has been negotiating financial settlement, Right Honourable Speaker. The chairperson is a brazenly partisan, Right Honourable Speaker, with due respect. Right Honourable Speaker. Secondly, in the minister's statement.
There's an order. Honorable Mpuuga, Honorable Lop, we are 3 leaders of this institution. And you know very well that the Human Rights Commission reports to Parliament. Before we give them an assignment, why don't we call them and talk to that team and agree with that team? This is what we expect of you. That is what we expect of you. Short of that, you're in appointments committee. We can send these people back to the sender if they are not doing what is expected of Ugandans.
My order.
Right Honourable Speaker, again, in General Muhoozi's submission earlier on, he clearly stated that police was able to form an NGO and reached out to, yes, I said.
Not to form, to pretend to be an NGO.
Of course, that's why I have gestured with inverted commas. They formed one, and that's when they were able to access the families. So the assertion of the good doctor here that the families do not cooperate should not be on our record. It's wrong. Actually, one of the demands we are making here of the good general, you share with the Parliament the report of the police NGO, because they were able to reach the families, and therefore the fact that the families did not cooperate does not arise.
Now,
in the submission I have made, the video evidence, the families attest to the reach outs, the proposals for financial settlements, and all manner of indecent proposals, Right Honourable Speaker. So they were reached, and these good honourable ministers not so well.
now,
So
advise me. I want your very sincere advice. The person who is supposed to propose for the Judicial Service Commission is government. In the circumstance that government settles for the institution that was made by this house, that's Human Rights Commission, what happens?
Right Honourable Speaker, of course, the jury is not on us. The jury is out on the executive to prove their commitment to resolving this matter. And I cannot answer to government commitment. The jury is out of them.
Right, Honorable, this tells you, listening to Honorable Mpuuga Mathias Mpuuga,
Order.
and
Why are you bringing an order? Does he come from Bugiri? He comes from Masaka.
Yes, and
He comes from Masaka and he's proud to be from Masaka.
we are making this.
Sit.
We are making. When you see a neighbor complaining over a lost neighbor's chicken, you know the neighbor is a thief himself. But in this case, we are making this progress and making retrogress.
Asuman.
Honorable.
Asuman. I even thought you're in Kigali.
I did not even mention.
What are you doing here?
I did not mention any name. I did not mention any name here. Right, Honorable Speaker, we were making some progress here.
No, we are getting progress.
Yes. And you've asked a very pertinent question to the opposition leader of opposition. And what would be the effect, the total sum of even the resolution that we shall make? Because he may not believe in the Human Rights Commission. He does not believe. That's what I got. And from him, may not believe in the committee of parliament, but he would want a select committee of parliament, which will be appointed, taking all the 3 or 4 shades of parliament. This just tells you how complicated this matter is, that the leader of opposition, he is, with the team, he is determined to stretch this house beyond your limit.
Honorable members, love.
Let's help each other.
You know, one person who has always been supportive to me and continues to be supportive to me while in this seat is none other than Honorable Mpuuga. And I don't think you would want to stretch me to what is expected. Honorable members, I am putting a question. But no, don't stretch me.
No. But Madam Speaker, I understand the demeanor of OO. And you see, he's trying to invite the presiding officer into this because the executive have failed to own up. And he wants the presiding officer to take a decision where they have. That has nothing to do with the vote. It has got everything to do with understanding the duty of the executive.
We have failed to understand each other.
No, Madam Speaker,
What?
I challenge the Prime Minister to raise the microphone and say that government has failed to understand their duty in this matter. Then the House will take a decision. It has nothing to do with the vote in this House.
Honorable members, maybe before we continue, me and Honorable Mpuuga and Honorable Taeva will want to meet the Human Rights Commission on Monday in my boardroom. If the institutions of this government are not working, then we will send these institutions back to the sender. Because you cannot say that the chairperson has a problem. How? If she's not working, let's get her out. We have the powers. Mpuuga, bear with me, and that is.
Madam Speaker,
yes.
With your indulgence, yes, I am entitled to speak in this House. So don't take away my right. Because you, my honorable sisters should just listen. I don't want to be misunderstood as if I am putting words in the mouth of the Human Rights Commission. With your permission, allow me to just read a sentence from their report, because
no, we are going.
Yes.
Honorable member.
The leader of opposition.
No. Let me meet. We are going to meet with the Human Rights Commission. Okay.
Why are you fearing?
Honorable members, we are giving this responsibility to Human Rights Commission, and we will have a meeting with them before we give them the assignment, and they must report to this house, report to Parliament as prescribed by the law. Next item, next prayer. Next prayer.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Now we began with the issue of missing persons. Now we are going to the area of rape, defilement. Yes, this is what number 3 is talking about.
The prayer.
3 on number 3. 3, yes, I'm number 3. Number 3, the leader of opposition is proposing that we appoint a select committee to look at issues of rape, defilement, and so forth. And our view as the government, that if there are issues that we must investigate, the Human Rights Committee of this House is adequate. Yes, it's enough. So we can task it to look into these issues. It's our own committee, and we believe every member of Parliament has the competence and the capacity. They can do good work and report back.
Honorable members.
We object the issue of the select committee.
I want to hear from Government Chief Whip.
Madam Speaker, the practice of this House in terms of such proposals is dictated under the rules of procedure. In the rejoinder of the leader of opposition, prayer number 3 is need for a select committee. Under our rules, such should be formally moved in form of a motion, and the House takes a decision as prescribed under the rules of procedure through a vote. And would I persuade you, Right Honorable Speaker, as the custodian of the rules of procedure, but this is a House of record and it is guided by rules of procedure. Right Honorable Speaker, may I, if it pleases you, request that the side that has brought this proposal adheres to the rules of procedure such that you subject it to the prescription of the rule and we take a decision as a House. I beg to move.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I acknowledge the depth of knowledge of the rules by my honorable comrade, the Government Chief Whip. I want to assure him that by proposing that way, we were alive to the command of the rules. However, we thought that this House of Parliament would consider the possibility, and when it is agreeable, a motion will be duly moved. After all, under Rule 59K, the Speaker would indulgently allow the moving of a motion without notice. But you don't surprise the House or the presiding officer in such matters. So I want to say to his spirit that we are not devoid of knowledge of how the rules function in as far as motions are concerned. But we wanted to beseech the understanding of the House on how this would work. Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, we are not trying to impeach in any way the sanctity, powers, and abilities of the House committees. We thought that because the committees of Parliament can on their own motion move over these matters. And remember, these matters have been with us in this house for the last 2 years. And the Committee on Human Rights has never moved itself, let alone seeking to follow up matters over which we have resolved variously on fisheries. The general understanding is that probably they are not keen. And therefore, the House would consider to selectively choose from within itself a team to consider this matter. Right, Honourable Speaker, that was the premise for that prayer.
There's a procedure from Mumbabazi. Honorable, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the leader of opposition is alleging that this house, the committee of this house on Human Rights Commission, on Human Rights, has never put in any efforts of investigating the matter at hand. Right Honorable Speaker, this matter is not new. It is something that has been on for long. Since we began, I think, our term of office on this committee, it was our first assignment. We had actually a list of 65 people who were alleged missing. We met those people. We had to investigate, and out of 65, we remained with only 7 that could not be accounted for. Right Honorable Speaker, it is a concern that the lead of opposition. Proceeding. Are we proceeding where that the lead of opposition comes up now and says we have never investigated the matter? Honorable Mbabazi, the issue being raised is on fisheries, not human rights. And for me, in my thinking, honorable members, in my thinking, if my brother Lop does not have all that trust in human rights alone, we can have 2 committees. We have always got very good results when we combine committees. We can get a committee of internal affairs together with the human rights, and they will handle that properly. Honorable members, that will give you results. I want to thank you for today. The House adjourned to 2 tomorrow.
Omuliro ndowooza muguwulidde. Kibaluse omuliro gwo gukutte. Speaker asaza amagezi n'adduka alabe ekigenda atwagenda kuba wangu ng'ebigambo biyinza okusobamu. Abasajja bayinza okwekandaga n'asalawo Parliament n'adjourninga ate olunaku olw'enkya. Kale
the practice of this house
bitambudde bwe bityo, obubaka bwonna butuuse, obujulizi bwonna buweereddwayo. Mathias Mpuuga lipoota agiwaddeyo bulungi buli kimu. Ebintu bikyagenda mu maaso tebinnaba kuggwa. Katulindirire biki ebinaavaamu, biki ebinaddirira, ffe twongere kubanja kimu. Twagala abantu baffe babalina bali mu kwebuzaabuza batujja ku mulamwa, ne tulina kukiremerako paka batuwe abantu baffe. Bagezaawo okulaba nga batukyusa batujje ku mulamwa omutuufu, abasobole okubuza abantu baffe, abantu babiveeko, ne tewali agenda kubivaako. Tubeetaaga abantu baffe mubatuwe, kuba mwabawambanga tebalina musango. Oba mwagala oba temwagala, ku luno mulina okubatuwa, kubanga ebigambo bigenda kubasobako ate nga bikyayongera okubasobako, kubanga bo tubeetaaga. Mwabawambanga tewali kye bakoze, wabula nga baagala enkyukakyuka mu ggwanga lyabwe ne mubatwala olw'okuba Gen. Museveni tayagala kuva mu ntebe. Kale byebyo nno ebibadde mu Palamenti leero. Tukyeyongera okutambula awamu okulaba nga twongera okutambuza ensonga zino nga tuzituuke ku ntobo yaazo paka nga tutegedde Kibalama gyali batuwe abantu baffe ebiripoota byabwe tubyagala, kubanga byakutubuzaabuza, batubuzaabuliza muli ne batujja ku mulamwa omutuufu, ate nga ffe twetaaga kusigala ku mulamwa. Mukama Katonda asaba bankuumire, tujja kuba tuddamu tubigambo ebigambo. Bataayi mwera.